Okay, well, my next guest, well, he plays one of the most popular characters in book and film. You know who I'm talking about. It's the character Harry Potter. He's currently in the country shooting a movie, but isn't doing any interviews while he's here, so I caught up with him before he left London when he was still on the set of the movie Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It is out on the 24th of November in New Zealand and the 1st of December in Australia. Here's a little bit of a look.
Put the cloak on.
Dragons! That's the first half. You're joking.
Come on, Harry. These are seriously misunderstood creatures.
Here it is, my chat with Daniel Radcliffe. How are you? You look very well.
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing marvellously well. Now, of course, everybody knows Harry Potter. The books are a phenomenon, as are the films. When you were first cast in the role of Harry Potter, the books already incredibly well known around the world. Were you already a fan of the books?
I had read the first two, but I hadn't read the other one, so I wasn't sort of obsessed. I'd really liked them, but I wasn't like one of the people who was sort of swept away by the mad craze of it at all. But then when I actually got the part and I started reading them again, I actually did slowly become, you know, one of the army of millions of people who is now obsessed with the books. And so I definitely, I now absolutely love them, but before I'd only read the first two.
And now, it must be strange for you, but you are actually Harry Potter. You are the one people look at when they think Harry, when they read him off the page, they would invariably think of you. Is it hard for you to live a normal life, to just get out and be Daniel Radcliffe?
Not really. I mean, sort of some people refuse to believe that I can possibly lead a normal life, but that's not sort of the case. I mean, it's sometimes wise if I go out to maybe wear a baseball cap, because otherwise it can get a little bit crazy. But, you know, normally I don't really understand when actors sort of complain about getting recognised on the street, because, you know, it's not like people are throwing bricks at you and things and being really horrible. When people come up to me and are really nice, then it's like, you know, it's great, it's complimentary.
Is it like Superman and Clark Kent, like if you take your glasses off, people won't recognise you?
Well, you see, the thing is, I thought that would be the case, because I think I look very different, but evidently that's not true, and people still recognise me. But again, it's not a big problem, but I think I look very different.
Now, tell you what, you certainly look a lot different from the very first movie. 11 years old when you did The Philosopher's Stone. Have you ever watched it back since?
I had the misfortune of, by accident, sort of, I was flicking through the channels on TV, and they were playing it, and I was so shocked by me. I was tiny, and I had this squeaky voice, and I thought there was something wrong with the television, because I thought it was like something was wrong with the sound on the TV or something. And so it was just, I don't think I'll go back and watch it again, or any of the others for sort of, once I see the film at the premiere, I sort of then, like, that's finished, and I won't watch that for like 10, 20 years or something.
I get freaked out when I switch on the TV and see me looking tiny with a squeaky voice. Unfortunately, now, of course, for those people, I'm sure a lot of people have read the book for The Goblet of Fire, but for those who haven't, take us through the new movie.
Okay, so in the new film, we start off, and it's a long time ago that I did it, so I'm sort of having to remind myself of it. But basically, the film centres around a thing called the Triwizard Tournament, which is when three magic schools, which is Beauxbaton Academy, Durmstrang and Hogwarts, which is the best one, they all sort of get together and they have this tournament. And they have these three tasks in the tournament, and Harry is... Normally they only have three contestants in this tournament, but because it's a Harry Potter movie, Harry is picked, naturally, and so he enters, and it's about sort of the tasks that he faces. And in the end, of course, he meets Voldemort, and I think that's sort of the main bit of the entire film, really, certainly for me.
Well, I would have thought one of the main bits for you would have been very much like Harry. He was very daunted by this idea. There's a big dance, a big end-of-year dance that all the schools have to partake in. Was it very nervous for you to have to learn how to dance?
Well, the thing is, both my parents were amazing dancers, like championship-winning dancers, and I really wanted to sort of do them proud, but I think those genes may have skipped a generation because I wasn't very good. But, I mean, the thing is, I should have... Because I like to point out at this point that everyone else had about 2 or 3 weeks rehearsal, and I only had 2 days. So I think I did very, very well, but no one else does.
Now, of course, speaking of skills, though, what about, much like Harry, of course, the kids at Hogwarts? The hormones are kicking in. Harry's starting to look at the ladies. What about you, Daniel? What about your skills with the ladies? How are your skills with the ladies?
You love that word. I love they're sort of... you love the ladies. No, they're sort of marginally better than Harry's skills, but not by, you know... I feel in playing the part of Harry this time, I'm sort of standing up for every 14-year-old boy, because at 14, no boy is good with girls. We all, you know, possibly think that we're being really smooth and stuff, but we're not. The girls are probably standing there thinking, who is this person and why is he talking to me? And so I think playing Harry, I feel I'm standing up for everybody, because I personally don't have much better skills than Harry with the ladies.
What about the movies themselves? How many more Harry Potter films will yourself and Rupert and Emma, who play Ron and Hermione, of course, how many more films will the three of you be part of?
Well, we're definitely doing the 5th one, which we start in February. And, you know, that's incredibly exciting. You know, with the director of that, a guy called David Yates, who's a British director, and he's really, really clever, and it's really exciting. But, I mean, after that, who knows? I mean, I'm sort of trying to take it sort of one film at a time, but while I was reading the 6th book, there were moments when I was sort of just going, that would be really, really cool to be able to do. So, I'm not saying... You know, there are some bits in the 6th book that I'd really love to be able to do, but, you know, it all depends on loads of stuff. Like, ultimately, it comes down to whether I'm still enjoying it, I suppose. And I have been so far, and I don't see any reason why that should change.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us, and enjoy your stay in Australia while, of course, you are here. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, November 24th in New Zealand, December 1st in Australia. Get excited, everybody, and please thank Daniel Radcliffe.
Thank you very, very much.
It's a very cool movie. And before we left, he read every book behind him. We'll be back with